What's up, everybody? This is Russell Brunson. Welcome to a very special impromptu marketing secrets podcast. I just got off an inner circle call and it was so awesome. I wanted to share it with you. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets. So I'm on Inner Circle call. Inner Circle are my 25K members, and there's 100 of them, and we have the group closed to 100 people. And once a month I do consult calls with all of them, and one of them today was with Myron Golden, who is one of the coolest people in the world. And in the middle of this thing, he dropped 10, 12 minutes of the coolest thing about how income and the different levels of income, and it was so good. I want to share. So after he riffed on it for 15 minutes, I was like, can I put that on the podcast? And he was like, sure, man. So I'm like, so anyway, I'm doing this really quick before I jump on the next call. I'm going to plug this clip in here. This will help you understand the levels of income and if you're stuck and where you need to shift and what those changes are for you to get to where you want to be from income, from a finance standpoint. And it's awesome. So listen right now, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Marketing Secrets podcast.
There's a reason people who make a lot of money make a lot of money. There's a reason people who make a little money make a little money. And it's because income is the result of value created and offered in the marketplace, right? So value is what creates income. And there are 4 levels of value. And if you're operating on one of the lower levels, you can only make so much money, right? And I'll just tell you what the 4 levels of value are so you can kind of wrap your mind around. There are 4 levels, but there are 5 resources. The top level of value, you have 2 resources you can use. So every level has 1 resource, but the top level has 2 resources. So the lowest level of value is implementation. That's the lowest level of value. That is the people who do the thing. So if you do the thing, you're the person who does the thing, you make the least amount of money. And I basically tell people in the presentation, if you're an implementer, I know how much money you make. You make somewhere between minimum wage and $80,000 a year. You make minimum wage if you're working as housekeeping staff at a hotel or McDonald's or whatever. You make $80,000 a year if you're a mechanic that works on Rolls Royces or Bentleys or something, right? So that's your income window. And then the next level of value, and by the way, the resource that you use at that level is your muscles. You use your muscles to make money. By the way, I shouldn't show that on camera, but it's here to protect you, not to harm you. Anyway, pardon my corny. I'm a corny dude. What can I say? So the resource, you use your muscles to make money. And the whole premise of the concept is that money is spiritual in nature. It is not materialistic in nature, right? And so if you're using a physical resource like your muscles to make money, then your income is going to be limited. If you want to make more money, you have to operate at a higher spiritual value, a higher spiritual level. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So the next level of value, which is the second to the lowest.
The 2 resources there were muscle, and what was the other resource?
No, there's only 1 resource at that level.
Gotcha.
That's your muscle. Right. The top level has multiple resources. The bottom levels only have 1.
Okay. Does
that make sense? Okay. So the lowest level is implementation. The second to the lowest level is called unification. That is, you use the resources, your management skills. You use your management skills to make money. And you don't do the thing, but you manage the people who do the thing. And so you make more money than the people who do the thing, but you still have a limited income. You're going to make somewhere on the low end between $40,000 a year, on the high end, $250,000, $40,000 if you're a manager at Taco Bell, high end, $250,000, you're a middle manager, vice president, something at Lockheed Martin, let's say. Okay. So that's your income window. If you want to make more money than that, working harder in the same level doesn't make you more money, right? So the next level is called communication. It's the second to the highest level of value. Communicators are some of the highest paid people in the world. I'm not talking about people who communicate a message from their head to somebody else's head, but people who communicate a message from their heart to somebody else's heart. They use their words to make people feel something. You know exactly what that looks like because you do it all the time, right? So you're communicating a message. When you use your mouth to make money on the low end, you're gonna make $100,000. On the high end, you might make 100 million. Low end, 100 grand. Cars, you sell cars, you make $100,000 a year. High end, 100 million. You're an actor. You're an A-list actor. You might make $100 million a year. You're a Robert Downey Jr. You're a Denzel Washington. You're an A-list actor. You're a singer. You're an A-list singer. You produce albums. You're a Jay-Z. You're an Usher. You are a Beyonce. You're a communicator. You're either an author, you're a speaker, you're an actor, you're a songwriter, you're a playwright, you're a salesperson. You launched this business called ClickFunnels, even though you don't know how to program, but you know how to communicate the message. Hashtag just say it. Okay.
Hashtag.
So hashtag just say it. So communication is the second highest level of value. And people who get really good at communicating can make a lot of money. People who resist communicating, and if I might quote a friend of mine who lives out in Boise, Idaho, they just hate money, right? So communication is the second highest level of value, and you use your mouth to make money. That's the resource. You use your mouth. And it almost doesn't even seem fair, because fair is not a real concept. It doesn't seem fair that people who talk make more money than people who move things and hammer nails and dig holes, but they do. I had these guys come out here and look at my roof today. The guy told me he's been working for this roofing company for 40-something years, and his skin was all leathery, and he had like sores on his head. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's so painful. He uses his muscle to make money, and he'd been doing it for 40 years. Anyway, so just thought about that just now. It's like sometimes people will be physically diligent so they can maintain a state of mental laziness. Right? So they won't work hard at learning a new thing, but they'll work hard at doing what's already not working. So anyway, so that's the kind of the progression I'm taking people through, right? And the highest level of value, are you ready? Drum roll, please.
Excited.
Okay, highest level of value is imagination. You use your mind to make money. That's one of the resources, use your mind. The other resource you use with your imagination to make money is money. So those are the two resources you use your mind to make money with. Like, are there people who make money trading stocks and options and commodities and all that stuff? Are there people who do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right? Well, are there people who lose money doing the same thing?
Yeah.
What's the difference? The difference is how they use their mind. So your mind is your greatest resource for creating wealth. But most people, we've been programmed our whole life not to think, right? And most people don't think they think. So they just think they think. So what they really do is they're really regurgitating pre-programmed responses that were programmed to them while they were plugged into the matrix, and they think they're having a thought. And so Mind Over Money Mastery is a program where I teach you how to use the three highest level resources and the two highest levels of value. I teach you how to use your mouth mastery. I teach you mind mastery, and I teach you money mastery. That's why it's called Mind Over Money Mastery. So that's the, thank you.
Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my two best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these two books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.